Good morning. My name is Amanda Rivera. I'm the hearing examiner presiding over today's case. The date is August 8th, 2024, and this is case DCI2023-00029. It's an amendment to the Alico Lakes CPD. This is a quasi-judicial hearing, but I administered the oath on the first day, so everyone remains under oath, so I will not do that again today unless we're expecting new testimony from anyone. No? Okay. So I did review the 48-hour letters that were provided by both of the parties prior to this. The scope today is limited solely to the changes that the applicant was making to the MCP and the conditions. So I'm thoroughly prepared to receive those whenever you're ready, and I've reviewed what's been provided.
Yep.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning. For the record, Fred Droblick from RBI Planning. Today in front of you I have, I don't have a repeat of what I sent you over the thing, except I do have an 11x17 of the master concept plan, the revisement if you want, and a print of today's presentation.
Yes, so I'll accept both of those on the record today. Following the first hearing, we had the initial PowerPoint as applicant exhibit 1.
Yep.
That 24x36 prior MCP was applicant exhibit 2. Applicant exhibit 3 is the second 48-hour letter, and so then I'll accept applicant exhibit 4 will be the revised PowerPoint, and applicant exhibit 5 will be the revised MCP.
Yep.
Just to keep everything straight. Thank you very much.
All right. Well, it was working. It stopped on us. There's only a couple slides if you want to just click it forward. Oh, yeah, that did it. You got it. You got it going. So we're here just reviewing the kind of the holdups of the neighboring property came up, and we weren't fully codified. It looked like the agreements were more or less in place, or the wording, but it wasn't fully codified on MCP. It wasn't fully codified as conditions in here. So we rectified both of these. This is these 7 private agreement conditions have been executed as of this morning and fully agreed upon, and as to greatest understanding I could, reviewed by the neighboring property as well. Obviously, everything's executed, so I think everybody's in agreement that the MCP and the conditions match what's in the agreement, and they're fine with us moving forward with this as presented. You have this language several times, so I'll just go to the MCP and point out where they happened. Number 1, these were already consistent last time, so the reduction of the request was 90,000 square feet and down to 45 feet instead of 60. So that's condition 1 and 2. Condition 3 is the distance of the building from the property, because the concerned property here is at the hotel, so we separated that distance, set it at a minimum 115 feet. Number 3 is this distance from the parking lot to the boundary of the property, and a minimum of, what did I say on that, 45 feet. We actually show 47 on the MCP, but the requirement is 45 feet. And it's to provide a buffer, which is number 4, which is an enhanced buffer, according to 34-1352. So it's a pretty nicely enhanced landscape buffer. But with some specific things that the trees are clustered in minimum 2 tree clusters immediately adjacent to the west side parking lot's western edge. So that's just to ensure trees are in the proper placement, and clustering always looks nice, actually. So 5 and 6 are there along the property, so that had to do with illumination of the building at that side, and then number 7 had to do with illumination of the parking lot. And those are limited by those conditions, and I also put those in notes. So the notes at the bottom of the page are consistent with number 5, 6, and 7, because they weren't obvious on the master concept plan, so we wanted to put a note on the MCP calling those, making sure that those are consistent. And that's it, as far as I understand. We're good with everything else.
Okay. And did you review the revised conditions that the staff submitted, and you're in agreement with those as well?
We are. Yep.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning, Madam Hearing Examiner. For the record, I'm Mary Sue Groth, Senior Planner with the Department of Community Development. I've been sworn as previous witness. Thank you. I do have a copy of my PowerPoint presentation for you.
And that will be Staff Exhibit 4. Thank you.
So, in summary of DCI 2023-00029 for Alico Lakes Village, this was originally scheduled to be heard by the hearing examiner on April 11th, 2024. 1 day prior to the scheduled hearing, county staff was presented with a notice of opposition from counsel representing the Alico Lodging LLC, owner of the Tract G that is immediately west of the subject parcel to the west of Tract I. They were requesting that the hearing be continued based on the project's discrepancies with an existing agreement. The hearing examiner continued the case and rescheduled the hearing to May 28th, 2024, where the case was heard, and county staff recommended approval of the project with conditions at that time. Alico Lodging LLC and their counsel attended the May 28th, 2024 hearing. Once again, opposed the project based on conditions that were settled on between them and the applicant that were not reflected in the county staff report. So the hearing examiner at that time continued the hearing to today's date, August 8th, 2024. So today's continuance is simply to cover the conditions agreed upon by those parties. The applicant did submit the proposed conditions set forth in the settlement to staff prior to today's hearings so that we could review and make sure that everyone was in agreement with what was going to be put in there. As Fred indicated already, the floor area would go from 125,000 reduced down to 90,000, building height from 60 feet to 45 feet. As Fred indicated, that west property boundary to the west of the building was going to be 115 feet minimum setback. The boundary for the west parking was going to be 45 feet. As Fred showed, that was actually showed on the master concept plan as 47 feet. And they put in an additional landscape buffer based on LDC section 341352 that basically has enhanced buffers, trees clustered a minimum of 2 tree clusters immediately adjacent to the west site parking lot's western edge. They also adopted a lighting plan that included not having building-mounted luminaries and canopy lighting on the primary building's west facade. They also would not exceed 0.3 foot candles for the area lighting in the west parking lot and on the west side of the building facade as well. And then freestanding poles would be no more than 3 feet from the western edge of the property in the parking lot. So in conclusion, staff reviewed the request and had no issue with including the conditions agreed upon by the parties, a new master concept plan composite depicting the revised development regulations from the original request, and a revised conditions and deviations attachment including all the agreed upon conditions were provided to the hearing examiner's office with the staff's 48-hour letter. It is still staff's original position to recommend approval of the request.
Okay. So just to reiterate, the staff found the original request in that format to be consistent with the LEAD plan and the LDC. So these revisions, does it enhance or improve
And
compatibility?
it enhances compatibility with the surrounding properties, yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Thank you very much. That was the extent of anything. As I said before, public comment had closed the first day, so today was solely to receive these changes, so I appreciate that. I will, typically we hear the cases and release the cases in the order we hear them. Because of the timing in this one, I will try to move this one to the top of the list and get this out as quickly as I can. And then we will go from there. So thank you everyone for coming today. Thank you for the efforts that you've made to incorporate everything. I appreciate the hard work you've put into it, and have a great day. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.